So I just got lunch with some of my friends, and I wanted to make a video now that I'm starting to settle in a bit more. Also, please ignore the flyaways in my hair. I decided to not put any product again. Anyways, if you're looking at the title of this video, you're probably wondering, what is it about? Because based on the past couple of videos that I've made, this video seems a little out of place. Cause I really do have a lot of pride for my school. And I've been kind of struggling with this dilemma ever since I put down that deposit for my ED2 acceptance letter that I received on February 14th, 2019. The reason for that is because it costs less money to go to most Ivy Leagues than it costs to go to here. And a lot of other prestigious colleges and universities don't cost nearly as much as this university does. Now, you could attribute some of that cost to living in the city, with Columbia costing within a couple $1,000s, give or take, from NYU. Wow, I say that it's a small number, but it's not. So the main question I've been facing is it really worth it paying $70K plus if you don't get any financial aid for this university? Because NYU is historically known to not give a lot of financial aid. And I'm not saying that to discourage any prospective students from applying. For sure, apply. It's been amazing for about a month that I've been here. I'm just not sure if the cost is justified for a lot of people who are worried about finances. Granted, I haven't really been here that long, so maybe these doubts are just a part of the experience, but who knows? Still, this sentiment is nothing new. For those of you who don't know, I went to high school in Pulaski Academy in Little Rock, Arkansas, and it was kind of a similar situation. It was a private school that cost a good amount of money to attend, even when compared to other private schools. Now, don't get me wrong. The education I got there was amazing, and the experiences I had there were life-changing. But I'm not sure if I'd still recommend my high school to other kids back at home. And not because of the quality teachers and administrators had come and gone, or that the bureaucracy higher up is doing something wrong. I feel like that's a problem that you face with a lot of private institutions, whether it be in higher education or the high school level, so on and so forth. I think the reason why I feel that way towards my high school is because I feel that you can get that same quality of education in other places. The reason why I think Pulaski Academy was so good for me was because a lot of maybe public institutions or other private schools didn't have the close-knit community that I had and the close relationships I made with several of my teachers. Oh, and I can't forget how amazing the college counseling was. Mrs. Watts and Mrs. Gorman, if you're watching this, you guys were lifesavers. And so I feel like going to NYU is kind of a continuation of that whole experience of attending an expensive school. Like I said earlier, it costs a lot of money to go here. And I think that some other institutions, such as Princeton, or if you went in-state to one of the UCs, which are both highly revered, yet don't even cost half of what I'm paying to go to NYU. Don't quote me on that though, as that's assuming that they're relatively fair with their financial aid, which I've heard anecdotally is quite good for those two situations. And I've definitely met people at NYU that have a really good financial aid package, and that's still really cool. But I feel like I'm living a socio-economically privileged life, again. And I wonder if people around me feel the same way. Maybe it's just me. Even the cost of living in the city is just... it's astounding, because this haircut costs $57, and that's without tip. My haircuts at home cost $30 max, and I thought that was expensive. And they had pretty solid haircuts, I gotta admit. So if I had to make a pros and cons list for these types of schools, the pros would be an almost guaranteed quality education. If not, you're definitely being scammed. like for-profit universities. And there's also close relationships with your teachers. And if you want that, especially at the high school level, you probably didn't get that there. And probably the most true thing for NYU is that we have a lot of resources here. And I know that college in general has a lot of good resources for students, but I feel like some stuff specifically NYU does is pretty good. For example, we have 3 global campuses: New York City, Shanghai, Abu Dhabi. We have several study away sites as well, such as in Prague and Tel Aviv. And there are also several partner universities that make studying abroad much easier. From what I can tell, that's part of why it costs so much to go here, in addition to the whole costs of living in New York City. Now, the cons would be the cost, obviously, and maybe like a less overall socioeconomic diversity. Not to say that those people don't exist at NYU, but man, we have a lot of international students that make up almost a third of like the total undergraduate population. Like, there's a lot of designer clothes around, and they make my wallet want to cry. So yeah, that's the gist of it, I guess. I really hope you enjoyed me talking straight to the camera for like 10 minutes straight. But just a little life update, I'm doing pretty well here at NYU. I'm struggling in Japanese class, but it's a new language, so that's expected. And, oh, here's a little sneak peek into my room setup. Here we have my growing wall of NYU memories, and on this side we have my Little Rock stuff set up, and oh, I also have this amazing canvas of the Arkansas River. So anytime I miss home, I just take a look at this wall of memories that I've made. Well, that's it for now. Thanks for watching and listening to me, and be sure to check out my other videos. I hope that I can get back to making more, but I'm still kind of struggling with the whole time management thing here. And not to say that I really had that figured out in high school either. Well, for those of you who stuck around, here's a little montage. Man, I gotta do laundry. Oh shit! God damn!
Don't go on my bed. There's so much like dust in there.
She's like smiling.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
I feel like you. Shut up, Zach.
She laughs to herself.
Oh man, is she here in New York?
She looks at me strange and pushes me away. And the next day we came fashion. I never felt like this before. Oh, she's making me feel new things.
Yes, like
I never felt like this before. Stuck right to the point where she doesn't give a fuck. She gives me a smile, I stare for a while. What do I do?
I was kidding, but you should use it on Instagram. Yeah, I've been so dead on my Instagram.